What up, y'all? It's Robert, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I'll be using what is, in my opinion, the worst engine swap that you could possibly get in Gran Turismo 7. Now, just to show you, this is an engine swap, yes, and I'm pretty sure you probably never seen it or heard of it, and for good reason. Why? It's the worst engine swap you could possibly buy in the entire game. There's no engine modifications for it. As you can see, there's barely anything for it, if I'm being honest. You can't put a turbo, you can't put a supercharger, there's nothing. And the horsepower for, I'm pretty sure I paid $125,000 for the engine swap, was just not worth it. And you know, and the car itself is also really bad, as you'll see in a minute. But it's probably, not even probably, it is the worst engine swap in the entire game. It serves no purpose other than it just having an engine swap. And with so many cars in the game that, in my opinion, I believe deserve an engine swap and don't have one, and this one gets it, is kind of, a little ridiculous when you think about it. Just due to the fact that this car is not good. It's actually, in my opinion, the worst vehicle you could buy in the game. I just bought it just because I was in a moment where, at the time, I was just buying a bunch of engine swaps when I hit level 50, and I'm like, this would be kind of funny just to have. This is the biggest mistake I've ever made, and you'll see why now. This car is just so slow. It handles so horribly too, and it's not good at all. Like, I ended up actually leaving the race. That's how bad this car was. I was in such shock at first. I was like, there's no way that, like, it handles this bad. But I was like, maybe I forgot to put, like, the brakes on, like, some good brakes. And I changed the suspension up too, just to see. And I know the tires definitely play a huge part in that, but comfort tires are actually pretty good for some vehicles. And racing tires, I've actually noticed that in some cars, when you have like the the roll bars set up that high, tend to like have like a lot of understeer, which I don't really like. I don't know how, but this car was doing that even without it, and it was insane. In this car, for it not being like a big car, it handles really bad. And the stopping is just insanely horrible for this. Like, if you see like the brake pressure that the game is allowing me to put on, it's very low. And like, I'm like, why is it this like bad? Like, I've never seen a car with this low of like, and you can see I'm legit mashing on the brake, and that's as much as it's giving me. And it actually decreases the the slower you go. And I'm like, what? This makes no sense. So I'm like, hold on, let me check to see, like, if I put the racing brakes on, because there's a possibility I just, left it seeing as how, maybe, it only has like 200 horsepower. Why would I need those? And also, that's another thing too. I noticed that this car is very snappy for some reason. Like, it's just ready to drift. And also, like, I have mine set to automatic just because I don't have my steering wheel set up right now, and it's just, I'm like, for this car, I don't really need the steering wheel and the manual shifting. The game, for some reason, is coded to shift this car very funky. Like, regardless, it will randomly downshift from like third into second in the middle of a turn, and it just makes the car just start drifting. It's actually insane. And I don't know, it's just a very odd car. Like, it's a cool looking car, and it's definitely a historic Honda. And I'm not hating on it because of that, but I'm hating on it because of the fact that they added this into the game. And it's the worst engine swap possible. Like, there's no point in buying it. There's no upgrades for it. Like, if you're like me and you just want to have all the engine swaps, then yeah, this makes sense to have. But this is legitimately just going to sit in your garage every time. I was so annoyed by the fact that this car could barely handle. I was like, let me go to a track where I know it has very few turns. And also because of just the class that it's in, it's still super low. So you kind of have to pick and choose. So, it makes no sense to have it, like me running it against like supercars. I have to put it in a class that doesn't make a lot of money. So you're not really making a lot of money with this car. And on top of that, it's very slow. It's actually really, really slow. that I found out, and I was actually in shock when I did this race on how bad it really is. Not just as an engine swap, but as a vehicle in general. Now, as you can see, the acceleration is it's okay, but it's like up there with these guys. And honestly, I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna let you guys sit back and watch how bad this car really is, and just so you guys can get like the full experience of why this car is just not worth buying. Not only just as like a car in the game. Now, if you're like most people, you want to buy all the cars just to say that you have them. But this car, like with a lot of vehicles in Gran Turismo 7, there's no use for them. And this is a prime example of that, of them adding in vehicles and having no real use other than them just being there. So like I said, I'm gonna let y'all just enjoy the next few minutes of just pure racing sounds and the powerfulness of this, you know, Honda S600. And that'll be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm gonna be starting the live stream again pretty soon. I just have a couple of things that I have to get out of the way first before I do that, and there's just a lot of stuff that's about to come up that I'm trying to like not only just squeeze as many videos out as possible, because as y'all saw, the GTA 6 trailer did come out for a number. The second trailer came out again, but the problem is the game got pushed back, and so this time next year. So now I have to continue the flow of how I've been doing things, so that once we get to GTA 6, it will just be a smooth transition into that. But like I said, we're on the road to 10,000 subs by the end of the year. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like content like this, Like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Follow my Instagram at raw_racer for all updates on videos and other stuff like that. But like I said, I'll be all for today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care. Peace out.